Texans roll the Browns. Chiefs handle the Dolphins. Packers roll the Cowboys. And the Lions hold off the L.A. Rams. Well, if you were going to go most surprised, least surprised. Most surprised, I think we would all agree that the Packers and how they handled the Cowboys. I thought the Rams were going to beat the Lions. I had no doubts about the Chiefs against the Dolphins, and I was really surprised with the Texans. Not only the margin of victory, but how they did it. That Cleveland defense is supposed to be one of the best defenses in football, or at least it is when they're at home. It was a fun first quarter, then all of a sudden, Joe Flacco throws a couple of pick sixes, and C.J. Stroud looked like Joe Montana. The Chiefs against the Dolphins felt like the Chiefs were saying, hey, let's just play a zone defense on Tyreek Hill and take our chances there. And during the regular season, I said there were two teams I hadn't figured out. I kept trying to figure out how good the Dolphins were and how good the Cowboys were. And you know what? I finally figured out. They're both frauds because the Cowboys were at home. They had everything lined up. You had people saying it's sort of like a bye week. You're playing the Packers, Jordan Love, first playoff game, and then all of a sudden you realize the Packers had been in playoff mode for the last couple of weeks, and Jordan Love had been spectacular. And all, you know what kind of set the tone for me? The Cowboys win the coin toss. Now, usually what happens, you defer. They said, no, we want the ball. So the Packers won the coin toss, got the ball, and then went 75 yards. And I went, ooh, okay. It's almost like they were like, all right, let's test you here. We're going to see what you got. And the Cowboys are probably saying, all right, got a rookie quarterback, or at least starting his first playoff game on the road, and they want the ball? Great. And then all of a sudden you realize, ooh, they want the ball, and they're going to get the ball again and again and again and again, and they're going to score touchdowns. And it was weird that it was a blowout, but then at the end it felt like this is closer than what it should be. And then all of a sudden, Green Bay brings in backup quarterback and some second stringers, get a little playoff time, and it's like, let's put Jordan Love back out there. Let's make sure we win this. The Lions against the Rams. Give credit, great atmosphere with the Lions. And, if you think about the city of Detroit, Red Wings are in a drought, a playoff drought. The Tigers in a playoff drought. You have the Pistons, the worst team in the NBA. And then you have the Detroit Lions, who finally, after 30 years, able to break that streak of a playoff win at home. And this is how it sounded last night.
One final time, Jared. One final time. Moves in behind center. Takes the snap. Takes the knee. This game is over. Oh, the Detroit Lions have won it. Celebrate, boys. Celebrate. You're coming right back here next week to take on the winner of the Philadelphia-Tampa Bay game.
That's courtesy of the ticket, the Lions Radio Network. It sounded like it was a championship there.
That fella's got a little Ross Tucker to him, too. This game's over.
Let me hear that again, Marv.
One final time, Jared. One final time. Moves in behind center. Takes the snap. Takes the knee. This game is over. Oh, the Detroit Lions.
This game is over.
We're moving on.
Hey, congratulations. Been a long time. Long time. And they had to make an announcement. They had to tell the fans, look, you got to leave. Like, we got to clean this place up for next weekend. All right, we'll come up with a poll question and play of the day, stat of the day. Stat of the day is always brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the Dan Patrick Show. As for the Cowboys, we wondered, we speculated, and now here we are. Jerry Jones probably not giving a ringing endorsement to Mike McCarthy, but he didn't do that going into the playoffs, where he said, well, hey, his record speaks for itself, said all these nice things, and then he added, well, we'll take it game by game. Here is Jerry Jones after the loss.
This is one of my most surprises since I've been involved in sport, period. So this is that degree. I know how disappointed everybody is. That's all my comment.
In terms of playoff losses, where does this one rank for you?
Well, Well, I don't have really. I can't reach back and look at a playoff loss, but this seems like the most painful because we all had such great expectation and we had hope for this team, and thought that we were aligned in great shape, and it didn't happen for us.
Okay. If you have a list of heartbreaking playoff losses, that's not good. Jerry, hey, can you bring out your list of heartbreaking playoff losses?
Well, if I'm seeding them.
Give me more time.
But you had everything that you wanted here. You were at home. You'd played well at home. You're playing the Packers, the youngest team in the NFL. You're facing a quarterback who'd never made a playoff start. I'm waiting to hear that Dallas defense, that was the second coming of the doomsday defense. Like, what happened? What happened? Because that team did not look good the last month and a half of the season, giving up points and a lot of yards. Yes, Eaton.
Maybe it's a symptom of how many times Jerry Jones has been in this position, but I give him a lot of credit for how he handled that exchange, because he had said, this is one of the most surprising things that's ever happened to me since I've been involved in sport. And the follow-up question is, where would you put this among your playoff losses? I just said it's the most surprising thing that's ever happened to me. What do you mean, where would I rank it?
Can you give me the Mount
I
Rushmore?
just told you it's the most surprising thing that's ever happened to me since I got involved in sports. Where do you think I rank it?
Now, I don't know if he makes a change. My guess is he does make a change. This heightened our awareness of the coaching situation because Bill Belichick is available. Mike Vrabel is available as well, and Pete Carroll. But really, this is about Bill Belichick. You're probably going to lose Dan Quinn to maybe Seattle. But here's Dan Quinn. That defense, he's the defensive coordinator, in the last 7 games allowed 25 points and 353 yards per game. And I don't know if they played great teams week in and week out to give up those 25 points, 353 yards. But he's your defensive coordinator and maybe the next coach of the Seattle Seahawks. All right, Seton, what's the poll question today?
Well, speaking of most surprising results, why don't we go with most surprising result this week?
Okay.
You got Texans over the Browns, 45-14. Chiefs, 26. Dolphins, 7.
Yeah.
Packers handling the Cowboys in 48-32. Packers absolutely handled the Cowboys in what was a very close game, actually.
I know. When Seton said that, I'm going, okay, it was a blowout until it wasn't a blowout.
It was a complete blowout and one play away from being a one-score game at the same time.
Yeah.
I was very much enjoying the blowout. I was like, oh, God, I was reveling in every down that went by. I'm like, this is the best. And then all of a sudden, the Cowboys started coming back. I'm like, wait a minute. This could be fun, too. But
all right,
a big tease. And then the Lions-Rams, 24-23. That was...
So really it comes down to the Cowboys or the Texans. The most surprising result.
Possibly.
Yeah. I think Dallas, because, I thought that team had the talent to go to the Super Bowl. And C.D. Lamb got shut down by Jair Alexander, who, man, he was in the doghouse a couple of weeks ago. And then all of a sudden, he shut down C.D. Lamb in the first
Speaking
half.
of coin toss.
Yes, that's true. I just thought Dallas, by the time they woke up, it was too late. They're almost like, okay, Packers going to come back to earth till they didn't come back to earth. And then, you got a quarterback who is putting up a passer rating of 157.2. That's the second highest passer rating for a quarterback in his first playoff game in NFL history.
This is the stat of the day.
Stat of the day brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the Dan Patrick Show. So C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love both posted passer ratings of 157.2. The highest passer rating of a quarterback in his first playoff game was Dave Craig, 1983 wild card game against Denver. That was 158.3. And you're watching these quarterbacks, as much as we love to laud Patrick Mahomes and the different angles of how he throws the football, Jordan Love was doing that yesterday. He was side angle, off his back foot, a lot of off his back foot. And then C.J. Stroud, he had a dip there during the season, later in the season, and we thought, okay, Puka Nacua could maybe win the Rookie of the Year. Nope, even though Puka Nacua was wonderful last night. That's a guy where there's speed and football speed. And he has football speed. But the other wide receiver, and I'm only going to compare them just because they weren't fast, but they were really good, and that's Jerry Rice. Because Jerry Rice was a 4.5 guy in the 40, maybe closer to 4.6. But he didn't get caught. And Puka Nacua, when he runs after he catches, he's not afraid. But when he catches the ball, he's going to hurt somebody. And if I'm the Rams, a Rams fan today, man, I can't wait till next season. Sean McVay was positive. I mean, he was like, hey, I really love what we did here. And he didn't sound devastated that he lost a close game.
Confidence that was earned from this group, they came in here with the expectation to advance and play the winner of the game tomorrow night. And so that's, I think that's a tough pill to swallow. But I think the further that you get away from the raw emotions of it, the more appreciation they'll have for what they did. And I think there's a lot of things that we can build on, but you got to do it. It's, as we know, and this group is an example of it, the preseason stuff doesn't mean.
Okay. That's Sean McVay.